Welcome back to another edition of the Final Whistle presented by Ikonik Print. I am joined by Eagles forward Owen Fitzgerald. Fitzy, appreciate you doing this. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally happy to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited to answer some of these questions and we can talk.
Now, Fitzy, I got to ask you, obviously, you've been a part of this Eagles team for a couple years now. I know on the ice the results haven't been necessarily what you wanted them to be, but describe what it's been like playing here in the South Surrey community. I know you're big on school visits, community visits too. What's it been like adapting the South Surrey community?
Yeah, it's great. I love going to school visits, like getting my name out there, letting people see the kind of person I am off the ice. I love kids, so I like playing and making them feel welcome in every opportunity they have. But yeah, I love it here in South Surrey. The crowds are amazing. They're nice and loud, like especially tonight they were super loud. So yeah.
Fitzy, I got to ask you, getting traded from Cowichan to Surrey, not just a new team, but sort of adjusting mentally to that change is a side of the game that people don't talk much about. With that Cowichan team, obviously you guys had a hot start to the year, and then Surrey was kind of the opposite. I got to ask you, how did you sort of handle that transition, and what helped you settle in?
Yeah, I think it was pretty tough because obviously I'm a younger player in this league, and I've never had something like that happen to me before, so it was kind of a shot of reality of real life. But I kept my nose down and I kept grinding. And I feel like I'm playing well so far, and I've really adapted to this new style. I think that's all I've done.
What lessons do you continue to learn amidst a tough season such as this one? Anything that can help you grow on and off the ice?
Yeah, I think obviously we haven't won a lot of games and we've been down in a lot of games. I think that helps a lot with mental toughness. Being able to stay in games when you're down and try and fight back. I feel like that helps, with everything in life. Like if you're looking for a job, obviously if you don't get it, you just got to keep going.
Let's talk about your junior hockey career as a whole so far. Last year playing in the Ontario Junior Hockey League and now transitioning over here into the BCHL. The couple years that you played junior hockey, what's something that you've learned about yourself as a person so far?
Yeah, you meet a lot of new people. You create a lot of new friendships, with teammates, coaches, and even fans. Like you get talking with a lot of fans, like at the school visits. It's just being able to make relationships like that quickly and build the chemistry right when you come to a new team like this in Surrey. It's crucial that you adapt to the new environment quickly, and it'll help you.
Let's get into some of our fan questions here. Our first fan question is from @Fitzgerald76 on Instagram. Tell us about the city of Ensmore. What's it like? What was it like growing up there?
It's small. Everybody. Every single neighbor you're familiar with. I liked it though. We lived on a big property, so we were outside a lot. Building baseball diamonds and outdoor hockey rinks. My dad helped out with that, so shout out to him. He made that all possible. But yeah, I loved it. It's just a nice little town. There's a school, church, post office, and a gas station, and that's about it.
When you tell people where you're from, let's say someone asks you where you're from, do you tell them it's Ensmore, or do you sort of say a larger city?
No, I normally say Peterborough, but if people are from Ontario,
then
I'll
they
say
know where
Ennismore, and they might know, like if they're around the area, or if they have a cottage, they might know, but it's a pretty tiny town.
I guess it's like if someone's from South Surrey, someone out of, away from BC asks you where you're from, you'd probably just say the Vancouver area.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Fair enough, Fitzy. Continuing on, have you, I know you're still early into your junior hockey career, but have you thought about what your plans are after junior hockey, whether it's college, playing pro, or something else you may be thinking about?
Yeah, I want to play at school. I want to further my education along with playing the sport that I love. Whether it's Division 1, Division 3, or U Sports here in Canada. Either three of those options I feel like will be good for me because it'll open up a lot of options.
I've noticed, Fitzy, every time you get off of the ice after a game, you kneel down and pray. Describe in words what that moment means to you and what sort of role does God play in your life and hockey journey?
Yeah, so, it was like, it kind of started this year, ever since I got traded here. Like I was going through a tough time, and I turned myself towards God, and I followed his path, for me. And I feel like it's helped a lot. Like, it helps me clear my mind. You know, it gives me somebody that I can go talk to anytime in the day, 24/7. Yeah, and you know, like when Stewie was here, he was also a big follower of God. So we both prayed after every game, and we got close with that part. And I have friends around the league too that are also close, and you know, I'll pray with them after a game. But yeah, it just helps me clear my mind and you know, not get so frustrated. And yeah.
There's a great photo of you, Trevor Stewart, and Jack Hirschhorn praying after the game in Alberni Valley. And I know that picture means a lot to you. Obviously, two of your close friends that you got close with this year. Hirschhorn, of course, with your time with the Capitals, and Stewie here. So, you know, I think it's safe to say God does play a big role in your life.
100%, yeah. That's actually my screensaver on my phone.
Wow.
So,
Not
yeah.
just the profile picture, but the screensaver as well.
I see it every time I open my phone.
Truly does mean a lot to you. Let's continue on with some of the fan questions here. At Jacob Hearn 31, who was your favorite player to play with last summer on RYC?
Oh, there were a lot of
And we need
good
a
players.
backstory too.
So RYC, so basically it's a men's league fastball league. So every Wednesday night there's 6 teams, and there's 3 games that go on from 6 to 9. Yeah, I had a lot of friends on that team that I got close with, but you know, Jacob Hearn was definitely at the top. I've known him for a long time, and getting to see him again and play a different sport other than hockey, because he's also a hockey player. Yeah, he's definitely at the top. I'm not going to say one, but he's up there.
You know, let's talk about your early days in playing hockey. Growing up back east, who in your family got you into hockey first, and how did they support this early passion you had of playing the sport of hockey?
Oh my goodness. I want to say it's my parents. It was a long time ago. I was 3, I think. Yeah, my parents helped me a lot. You know, they took me to morning skates, although I hated them, and they hated it too. They still brought me there. They would drive me to practice half an hour every day growing up. Yeah, they were always by my side, whether it was high or low. Yeah, they always helped me. They cooked me pre-games, which obviously is ideal. Yeah, I would.
What's your favorite pregame meal?
For the last 3 years, I've gone with the fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. That's my go-to.
Is it still your go-to before every game?
Yeah, that's what I eat. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Fitzy. Next question here for you. It's a fan question at Instagram at Grady Peterson 32. Why do they call Ennismore the Holy Land?
Oh my goodness, I honestly have no idea. I probably should have asked my parents, but I couldn't tell you an answer.
You think he just made it up himself?
No, it's
actually what it's called.
Yeah, everybody from Ennismore knows it as the Holy Land.
Wow.
I don't know why, I'll be honest.
I wonder how he knows it. He's from Calgary.
So there was when we played Chilliwack right before the break.
Yeah.
There was somebody from Ennismore that came up to me, and he grew up in Ennismore, so he came up and Petey was sitting beside me, and this guy walks up. He's like, "Are you Owen Fitzgerald?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you from the Holy Land?" And that's where Petey, and it's stuck with Petey ever since.
Oh man, what a story there.
Yeah.
Next question for you, Fitzy. If you could give yourself advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Oh gosh. You know, I would say, oh gosh, I don't know. That's a good question. Just the off-ice training is likely more important than the on-ice training. So, you know, in the summer, although taking days off is good, putting in that extra work like on the bike and, you know, doing hill sprints or regular sprints, a lot of plyo work. It's tough at the time, but it is very beneficial to further your hockey career. It just helps so much with everything that happens on ice.
Continuing on with our fan questions, Fitzy, it's a fan question from Mom at Lola Fitzgerald.
Wonderful.
Asks, she's actually not asking, she's saying, talk about your other talents such as guitar, piano, golf, and baseball. How'd you get into those?
So piano, my grandmother was a piano instructor, and yeah, my sister and I both grew up playing piano, and she gave us free lessons, which was nice. I have now forgotten how to play the guitar, or the piano, sorry. But it was very fun. The guitar, so 2 years ago I broke my finger, and it took me out for half the season. And then I got into playing the guitar because it helped me get my range of motion back in 2 of my fingers. And the doctor even said, like, if you hadn't done that, you likely wouldn't have gotten range back. Baseball. I grew up playing baseball in the summers. I love it. Like it's such a fun sport. You know, it's in the warm. Who doesn't love the warm? Yeah, I love baseball.
We got to ask you, coming out from the East, playing in the OJHL last year, when you first arrived into the BCHL, what's one thing about the BCHL lifestyle or culture that surprised you?
Yeah, I mean, I've never lived in a billet before. I lived at home the last 2 years. So moving into somebody else's home was a little bit weird at the start, but I've gotten used to it now, and they're basically another family to me. Yeah, the culture around the room, it's amazing on both Cowichan and here in Surrey. Yeah, it's the setup and everything, like workout times and stuff like that. It's just above and beyond better.
Instagram at Nishan Parmar, former Surrey Eagle, asks, can you confirm the rumor that you are the worst sewer player on the team?
That is such a lie. He won't admit it, but like I'm pretty good, and he hates it.
We got to focus on baseball here a bit, Fitzy, because I know you love baseball. I'm not going to ask you to decide what you love more, hockey or baseball, because I know they're equally important to you. But I think let's ask you about the Blue Jays run the last year. Now, you're from Toronto, and obviously you saw Blue Jays baseball during the summer, and you were actually, I think, just traded here just before Game 7 of the World Series. What did that run the Blue Jays went on mean to you? Obviously, growing up back east, I know the Blue Jays were a big part of probably you growing up.
Yeah, they've always been my favorite team. I've always been a Blue Jays fan. To see them make a run like that was pretty incredible, especially because they only had a couple big dogs. They had Trey Savage come up from single A, and he kept striking out Shohei Ohtani. Like, that's never going to happen ever again, likely. So it was pretty incredible to be able to witness a run like that. And my dad was here. We got to go out to a bar and watch Game 7, which was pretty awesome. But yeah.
A couple more fan questions here for you, Fitzy, at Devin.Shorman on Instagram. Who was your favorite vet your 16-year-old year?
There were a lot of good ones. Shout out Cole Patey. He was amazing. Gavin Keller. He was also awesome. But Devin Shorman, he was one of the top guys. I got really close with him, and he kind of took me under his wing in that year. I would have to say him, actually. Yeah, he was amazing.
How do you stay connected with friends and family back in Ontario during the season out here?
Yeah, I got a couple of really close friends that I call or I text with every single day. We just check up on each other. I call my parents basically every day, just let them know how my day went and say hello. I FaceTime a couple people too. Like I love the calls with all my buddies. So yeah.
Before the BCHL, you obviously played in the OJ. If I was to ask, what's one key memory from the OJ you still hold on to this day?
Gosh. Honestly, it was probably my first ever junior goal. It was a pretty bad goal, I'll be honest. But that kind of just sparked my confidence to be able to, because it was in my first ever game. So that kind of helped me with the confidence to tell me, hey, like you can play here, and you're good enough to play at the junior level. And yeah, that kind of just my confidence went up from there.
A couple more fan questions here for you, Fitzy. Instagram at oc.hockey_. What's your best memory skating with OC Hockey?
Well, definitely winning the championship game. I want to say, a year ago. That was a pretty cool memory. Got to hold a big trophy and everything. It was sick.
Final fan question here for you, Fitzy, at _Easton Jacobs. Who are two guys on the team that will be at your wedding in the future?
Oh gosh, there's a lot of guys that I would say will be there, but I can definitely 100% say that Easton Jacobs and Sean Leary will be there, whether they're invited or not. They'll show up. Yeah.
They'll find a way to show up. I think that's just the personality that Lears is.
Yeah, 100%.
Fitzy, we have a couple months left in the season. Obviously, like I said, the season hasn't gone the way that the Eagles have wanted, but what are your goals here for the rest of the season so far, heading into, the off season and next season?
Yeah, obviously, there's not much chance of us making playoffs. So I feel like from now on, the team and I are playing for next season and for for what we can provide there. Me personally, I'm trying to get at least 30 points. So I think 7 more maybe. That's my goal. That's been my goal for the entire season. So I feel like if I stick to that, I should be okay for next season.
Final question for you, Fitzy. I'll give you the last say. Any message you have for your family, your friends, anyone who may be watching this on YouTube?
Yeah, thanks for the questions. Love you guys. Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate you guys sending in these odd questions. Yeah, love you guys again. Thank you for the support and everything.
Fitzy, I appreciate your time sitting down here with me post-game. I think it was one of the better interviews we've had on the show so far this year, so I hope we can do this again sometime.
Yeah, I loved it. Thank you so much.
That is Eagles forward Owen Fitzgerald on this edition of The Final Whistle presented by Ikonik Print. Stay tuned, more episodes coming to our YouTube channel in the near future. Now for producer-director Mark Richard, Eagles forward Owen Fitzgerald, this is Jagraj Lully saying so long. We'll talk to you again next time with more episodes of The Final Whistle presented by Ikonik Print.